All right, Monday morning is here, and we're at the beginning of what's bound to be a massive week in the build-up to Saturday's Scottish Cup final. Celtic versus Aberdeen, the final piece of the puzzle in a season that's already delivered so much, and the chance now to seal it all with silverware. The excitement is simmering, you can feel it creeping in, but we've still got a few days ahead before that big one kicks off. And even though I hadn't exactly planned to dive into Saturday's match today, I reckon we'll let some thoughts slip out off the cuff as they come to mind. Because let's be honest, we're all thinking about it. The final is looming large, and this week is going to be all about that. But before we get totally swept up in Cup fever, let's take a second and look around. Because there's plenty happening in and around Celtic right now. Starting with a quick reminder, I mentioned a couple of weeks ago that we were aiming to hit 15,000 subscribers on the channel before the end of the season. We're currently sitting at 14,425. That's just 575 away. So if you're watching this and you've somehow not clicked that wee red button yet, now's the time. It costs nothing. It helps massively, and let's be real, I'll love you forever. Or at least until we win the treble, which I now consider a legally binding agreement. Speaking of predictions, remember when I said James Forrest would grab a late goal possibly from the spot, right? It didn't come from a penalty, but he did bag a late one, didn't he? Not bad at all, considering I also nailed that 5-0 win against Dundee United not long ago. I've been on a bit of a roll with the predictions lately. Now, don't worry. I'm cooking up a special one for Saturday's final. Something bold. You'll get it before kickoff. But now, let's shift gears a bit. Champions League talk. This is big. As it stands, we're one round away from reaching the Champions League group stage next season. Just one hurdle. If we win that tie, we're in. Lose it, and it's Europa League. Not ideal, but not disastrous. So the burning question is, will we be seeded for that crucial Champions League playoff round? Because that seeding could be the difference between drawing a tricky opponent and landing a more favorable matchup. So let me quickly explain where we are with that. There were 8 danger teams clubs whose results could affect our seeding. We needed at least 4 of those not to qualify for the playoff round. So far, 3 of them are already out. Olympiacos, Karabag, and Red Bull Salzburg. That means we need just one more to drop out for us to be officially seeded. And this weekend gave us more twists and turns than a Netflix drama. Let's start in Denmark. Copenhagen beat their opponents over the weekend and are now 4 points clear at the top of the table. They've got just 1 game left to play, while Midtjylland, their closest rivals, have 2. So technically Midtjylland could still catch them, but Copenhagen are definitely in pole position. Not the best news for us because Copenhagen are one of those danger clubs. Then there's Hungary where Ferencváros are basically already champions. That league is all but wrapped up. And Ferencváros being in the playoff round again does us no favors either. But the real drama, Croatia. Oh boy. We do not want Dinamo Zagreb to win the Croatian league. And for a moment this weekend, it looked like we might get our wish. Zagreb drew their match, which opened the door for Rijeka to take the top spot. But Rijeka couldn't take advantage. Not only did they fail to win, they actually lost to Hajduk Split. Now Hajduk are still in the title race themselves, but it's a slim chance. So going into the final round of fixtures, it's a 3-way battle, Dinamo Zagreb, Rijeka, and Hajduk Split. Now at a glance, you think Zagreb have it sewn up. They're top of the table. But here's where things get interesting. In Croatia, if teams finish on equal points, the title is decided by head-to-head. Results, not goal difference. Rijeka have the better head-to-head record against Dinamo Zagreb. That means if they match Zagreb's result next weekend, they'll finish above them. That's huge. Rijeka will be playing at home against Slaven Belupo, who are 5th in the league. Not exactly an easy fixture, but not a giant either. If Rijeka win and Zagreb slip up, we're laughing. That would mean Celtic are seeded for the Champions League playoff round, and that would massively improve our odds of reaching the group stage again. And on that note, the group stage, can we talk about how different next season's format will be this season? We had a clear goal finish in the top 24. And we did it. That was a success, no doubt about it. But next season, we've got to get through that playoff round first. That's now the #1 objective. Get there, and then the next targets kick in. Top 24 again, maybe even go a step further. But first, we got to make sure we're in the competition. Now, let's shift back to some transfer talk. Did you see the latest on Jeremy Frimpong? The guy's finally about to move. And it's a big one. For years now, we've heard the rumors Frimpong linked to this club. Frimpong to that club. Ever since he left Celtic for Bayer Leverkusen, the talk's been constant, but nothing ever came of it until now. Liverpool have reportedly met his release clause, around 35 million euros, and the move is happening. He's even having a medical today, or possibly already had one, depending on when you're watching this. This isn't just another ex-player doing well. It's significant for Celtic because of the selling clause we included in the deal when he left. We're due 30% of the profit Leverkusen make on the transfer. So they bought him for around 11.5 million. They're selling him for about 30 million. That's 18.5 million in profit. 30% of that is £5.5 million coming Celtic's way. Just like that. For developing him, giving him the platform, and sending him on his way. Brilliant business. Stick that 5 million in the summer transfer kitty and let Brendan Rodgers cook. Speaking of Brendan, he's just picked up the Manager of the Year award from the Scottish football writers. Well deserved, really, and Dyson Maeda took home Player of the Year from the same group. More than deserved as well. And it was Lennon Miller who got the nod for Young Player of the Year. But back to Maeda for a moment. He gave an interview recently that revealed a fun little detail. Growing up, he didn't actually want to be a footballer. He wanted to be a gymnast. Imagine that. Dyson Maeda flipping across a mat instead of sprinting down the touchline. He said he just realized eventually he was better at football and gymnastics, and the rest is history. What's more intriguing, though, is what he said or didn't say about his future. His contract still has a couple of years to run, but naturally fans want to see him signed long-term. When asked about that, his answer was, classic Dyson, very non-committal, something along the lines of, you never know what'll happen now. Think about it with my family and the gaffer, which is fine, understandable, but also, come on, Dyson, give us a bit of hope here. We all want him to stay. He's a key part of this team, and the idea of seeing him leave anytime soon is not something anyone wants to entertain. Family seems to be a big factor for him too. His wife recently gave birth in Japan, and he flew home briefly for that. It might be that his family is still based there, and that could complicate things. Let's hope not, and let's hope he stays for the long haul. Brendan Rodgers, on the other hand, seems very settled and focused. After winning that Manager of the Year award, he opened up a bit about his past, including working shifts, driving forklifts at a John Lewis distribution center before his coaching career took off. That was something I didn't know, and it just goes to show the kind of graft he's put in to reach where he is now. He also talked about his ambitions with Celtic. It's not just about winning trophies, though that's obviously important. For Brendan, it's also about building a legacy, bringing money into the club through smart player trading, improving individual players, and crucially developing the academy. He wants to see more young talent coming through quicker, and that's something I didn't expect to hear from him, but it's brilliant. Celtic have always had a proud tradition of youth development, but under Rodgers maybe we'll see that accelerated. Think of the potential if we can combine our domestic dominance, strong European performances, and a youth pipeline that actually produces first-team stars regularly. That's the kind of sustainable model every club dreams of. Europe is clearly central to Rodgers' thinking. He said as much when he returned to the club. Domestic titles are important, yes, but European progression is what really excites him. And this year we showed progress. We pushed big teams like Bayern Munich close. We competed, and now the aim is to build on that. But it starts with that playoff. That one round that could define next season's entire European campaign. Win it and you're back among Europe's elite with all the exposure revenue and buzz that brings. Lose it, and it's the Europa League, which isn't bad, but it's not the stage you want to be on. So yeah, that qualifier will be massive. Potentially the most important games we'll play all year. And now, just before wrapping things up for today, one last thing. Greg Taylor. If you've seen his Instagram post from the weekend, you'll know what I'm talking about. The caption read, loved it and loved it, past tense. His wife also shared a post showing him on the day he signed for Celtic, alongside a photo from this weekend with a message saying she's been with him every step of the way. I don't know about you, but that feels like a goodbye, doesn't it? Brendan Rodgers was asked about it and didn't say much, batted the question away. But social media clues like that are hard to ignore. Maybe I'm reading too much into it, maybe not. But it wouldn't surprise me if Taylor's time at Celtic is coming to an end. Right, that's all for now. We'll be back tomorrow with more updates. And as we get closer to that cup final, you can be sure the excitement will keep ramping up. Before we proceed, subscribe to our channel and enable notifications to receive all exclusive news about Celtic FC. Don't miss any details about your favorite team. It's extremely important for Celtic FC fans. There's growing concern in the green and white half of Glasgow this week as rumors begin to swirl suggesting that Celtic forward Maeda may have picked up an injury. Though no official statement has been released by the club as of yet, whispers from inside Lennoxtown and reports circulating across social media hint at a potential setback for the Japanese international. With the Hoops entering a crucial stretch in both the league and cup competitions, any absence for Maeda could prove significant. The 26-year-old has been a tireless presence on the left flank this season, known for his relentless work rate and electric pace. Maeda's pressing and tracking back have been essential components of Brendan Rodgers' tactical setup, often turning defense into attack in a matter of seconds. Losing such a player at this point in the campaign would be more than just a tactical blow. It could affect the very momentum Celtic have built in recent weeks. Supporters will be hoping that this is merely speculation. Maeda has previously proven himself to be a quick healer, having returned from injury setbacks faster than expected in the past. However, without any confirmation from the club or visible training appearances this week, fans are understandably on edge. The boys are preparing for a tough run of fixtures, including a potential title-deciding clash, and the thought of going into battle without one of their most dynamic players is not sitting well with the Parkhead faithful. Some reports suggest the injury may have occurred during a closed-door training session earlier this week. If true, it raises questions about the club's transparency, as well as about their depth in key positions. While players like Luis Palma and Mikey Johnston could fill in, neither possesses quite the same physical edge or tactical discipline. As Maeda as of now, supporters can only wait anxiously for clarity. With press conferences and squad announcements looming, the next 24 to 48 hours will be telling. For now, all eyes remain fixed on Celtic Park, and all fingers crossed that Maeda will be fit and ready to lead the charge once more. Hello, fan! Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel, as it means a lot to Celtic FC. Also, share your opinion about the news in the comments below. See you in the next video.